everyone, and welcome to Reel Me In, a movie podcast, where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, well, anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and I might not be wearing any pants right now, but that's okay, because this is a podcast. You're here in just my voice. My sexy, sultry voice, ladies and gentlemen. So, how you guys doing? You guys doing pretty good? I haven't seen you guys in a week. So on today's episode, it's gonna be stacked as always, and we'll be talking about a bunch of stuff. I got some trailers to talk about, the ones that came out this week that I thought really need to be talked about. I got some news that I want to give you guys, and then of course I saw the Boxtrolls literally a few hours ago, and I would like to talk about it as the movie review for the weekend. And I will also talk about my favorite claymation stop motion animation movies that I've grown up with and stuff, and where Boxtrolls lies in with all of those types of movies. So, but first I want to start by saying that we have a sponsor for today, and it is CobraCoins.com. They specialize in creating fully unique, customized coins for any occasion that you can call your own. These coins are collected by video games and movie buffs everywhere. You can literally put anything on it. Just ask. All you gotta do is just ask, and they'll put it on there. Any design that you want. So if you want Star Wars something, you want Marvel, Indiana Jones, you just ask him. Just ask him if he can do it, and most likely he can. If not, then you can go to his house with pitchforks and fire. But yeah, Cobra Coins is trusted by many police departments around the nation. And it's also being trusted by U.S. Coast Guard, Air Force, and even your neighborhood-friendly Walmart. You can create your customized coins today at CobraCoins.com, and you receive a 10% off coupon rate by mentioning my name, Chase Lee, and tell them that, this podcast sent you there. It's a pretty good site, guys. I highly recommend it. It's CobraCoins.com. Cold-blooded, hot prices. Okay. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You guys want to start with news or trailers first? News? Trailers. Okay, let's start with trailers. Okay, so I'm looking at my list, there were 5 trailers that hit this weekend, and I'm going to go ahead and just run down all of them really fast. The first one is Kingsman: The Secret Service. This is the new movie directed by Matthew Vaughn, who directed X-Men First Class, which is one of my favorite X-Men films. He also did Kick-Ass, which is also an amazing movie. This one stars Colin Firth, Samuel L. Jackson. The reason why I laugh is because Samuel L. Jackson's like in all-white attire, like he's some 1990s hip-hop dancer, like in the back of like a Vanilla Ice video. It's hilarious. But Colin Firth basically plays like a hitman, an assassin, and there's like an underground Kingsman group, and basically he's just kicking ass. And so it looks awesome. Like, Matthew Vaughn has a distinct style that no one else can duplicate. Like, you can see that style clearly in Kick-Ass. You can see it in X-Men First Class. He knows how to direct action very, very well. He knows how to keep things suspenseful and very tense in certain scenes. And so I think this one looks just like a Matthew Vaughn film, and I'm totally excited to see it. I really wasn't, but after seeing that trailer, I was like, yeah, sign me up. So that's the first trailer. The second trailer is The Wedding Ringer, and this is the second trailer to come out. It's got Kevin Hart in it, Josh Gad. Come out in January. Where the dumping grounds are. Yeah, it was one of those trailers. All right, moving on. So the next trailer is Jupiter Ascending. This is the third trailer to come out for this film. The first trailer was like back in, I want to say February or March of this year, and it was supposed to come out in July. Now they're having some technical difficulties or, pussyfooting, as in like they're weenies for not releasing it. Listen, I love the Wachowski siblings. I think The Matrix it's one of the greatest science fiction films ever made. I actually did not mind Reloaded or Revolution. I actually like Speed Racer, so send on the hate mail. I love V for Vendetta, but they didn't really direct that. kind of did the story and the screenplay for that. But as of late, it just seems like they're not really trying. I guess, I don't know, maybe they're just too expensive. Like their past 5 movies, their budgets have been huge, and they've all been failing. So I'm just wondering what Warner Brothers sees in Jupiter Ascending to give them that much money again, knowing that most of their films have not made their money back. So I don't know. I mean, it's from the creators of The Matrix, V for Vendetta, and Speed Racer. I'll give it a shot, but this trailer still doesn't wow me. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that. That's the case for the most part on this podcast. My opinion does not matter. So the trailer's just kind of meh. I'm not really looking forward to it. It comes out February of next year. The next trailer is Black Hat, and this is the Chris Hemsworth movie, directed by Michael Mann, who has done amazing films. Collateral. I didn't really care for Miami Vice that much, or Public Enemies, but Collateral is amazing. So Michael Mann's the type of director that has his senses on reality. He grounds his films in reality, and it's shot that way. And you can definitely tell they kind of look gritty and dirty, but it looks like real life. That's what it looks like. And so anything that Michael Mann does, I'm totally on board for, even though I don't care for some of his movies. But this one's basically Chris Hemsworth plays a hacker, cyber hacker. So I don't really know much more about it, but it looks awesome. And then the final trailer is Stretch. This is the Patrick Wilson, Jessica Alba, Chris Pine movie, done by Jason Blum, who is the owner of Blumhouse, who has made the Paranormal Activity movies, Insidious, The Conjuring. This guy's on fire. He makes movies for literally 10 cents and a piece of bubble gum and makes millions of dollars. So you gotta give him props. He's one of the best producers out there right now, regardless if you like his movies. Stretch looks pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really care for it. It looked like a straight to DVD movie that you would see at your local Walmart at the bottom of the $5 bin when Teletubbies is right on top of it. So I mean, it didn't really wow me. So that's it, guys, for the trailers for this week. Let's jump right into the news. All right, first piece of news. Bryan Singer, the director of X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men 1, X-Men 2, The Usual Suspects, he's coming back to do X-Men Apocalypse. Now, listen, I kind of figured he would because X-Men Days of Future Past made 20th Century Fox a lot of money. And so they would want him to come back to make them even more money and make another good X-Men movie. But, the whole Bryan Singer thing with the molestation and stuff that happened a few months back, it kind of hindered. It kind of hindered his chances to return because we didn't know what was going to happen from this lawsuit. I mean, we had no idea if it was true. If it was true, then I want Bryan Singer to rot in jail. But if it's not true, then people that accused him need to go sit on a metal rod and bleed to death. Sorry, but I think accusations are terrible, especially if they're false. So the fact that he's coming back to do X-Men Apocalypse, I'm super stoked for. Listen, guys, if you have not seen X-Men Days of Future Past, what are you doing? Stop this podcast right now and go see it. Find some way to watch it, okay? I don't care how you watch it, just watch it. It's a great X-Men film. Here's the thing. Out of, everyone I've talked to about the movie, no one has said they hated it. There's a lot of people that say it's okay. A lot of people say it's good, great, or even fantastic. But I've never seen anyone that has hated it. Unless you hate it, comment below so we can all make fun of you. I only kid. Film is subjectional. I know that people are going to like movies that I hate. People are going to hate movies that I love. It's just the name of the game. But X-Men Days of Future Past, I've yet to run across someone that literally just hates the movie. So the fact that he's coming back to do Apocalypse totally signed me up. Comes out in 2016 with Deadpool, Batman v Superman, Doctor Strange, hopefully, and Captain America 3. It's going to be 2016. I just came in my pants. Okay, so the next movie on the list is, okay, I'm going to try to pronounce this. Hopefully I do this right. Take 3 in. Take 3 in. It sounds like a Korean strip club. So take 3 in is taken 3, and replacing the E is with the 3. So, okay, here we go. Okay, Hollywood, stop putting numbers in the title, okay? It looks dumb. It looks like you hired a second grader to come up with a poster for it, and he slapped it on there as like something cutesy, and they're just like, oh, but it works though because it's the third taken. And if you flip the E around, it's a 3. Yeah, no shit. Do you have to put it in the title? No. So why don't you go ahead and... Sorry, I just burped. You see, my body hates this too. So, hey, take 3 in. Why don't we take the 3 out of the name and just call it Taken 3, because it's going to be a piece of garbage movie anyways. Listen, I love the first Taken. I think it's a great Liam Neeson movie. Didn't see the second one, but I've heard so much bad garbage about it, and plus I hated the trailer. My roommate saw it, he didn't like it. So, Take 3 in is going to be terrible, okay? It's going to be awful, unless they spin it completely different than the last one and the previous one. I mean, what's going to get taken next? His dog? That pet gerbil that he has in his room? I don't know. I don't know if he has a pet gerbil. Liam Neeson, do you have a pet gerbil? Please tell me. No? Okay. Either way, they're going to take something, and I'm sure the villain's going to take his pet gerbil, and he's going to be like, ha, taken for a third time. And Liam Neeson's going to be like, listen here, I've got a particular set of skills that you don't want to know, okay? I've already said this monologue once, and I'm going to say it again. I am going to take you down and take my gerbil back. This is a serious movie. Yeah, I'm sure it will be. Okay, so Taken 3 is happening. Get ready to riot in the streets. Next piece of news is a great Liam Neeson piece of news. He's going to join Ted 2. Awesome. Liam Neeson previously worked with Seth MacFarlane on A Million Ways to Die in the West, which came out earlier this year. I didn't really care for it, but they have worked together before, so hopefully it'll be good. Listen, I love Ted. It was my number 1 comedy of 2012. A Million Ways to Die in the West, it was the worst comedy I've seen all year. There was parts of it that made me chuckle, but overall, it's not something I'm just like, that was Seth MacFarlane. I'm really looking forward to Ted 2. He can definitely bring it back with Ted 2 because everyone loved the first Ted. But just like I reported last week, Morgan Freeman is in Ted 2. Now Liam Neeson is. Do you know how cool that's going to be? Like, hey, talking teddy bear, let me dick fart joke here. And then Morgan Freeman's like, I'm Morgan Freeman. This is a terrible impersonation and dick and fart joke. Like, it's going to be, it's going to be so cool. So cool. So, I'm really looking forward to Liam Neeson in Ted 2. Not looking forward to him in Taken 3. So there was one piece of good news from Liam Neeson and one piece of bad news that can go away and die. Alright, so the next piece of news is nothing shocking. The Maze Runner getting a sequel. I mean, there's really nothing much more to report. If a movie makes money, especially if it's in a book franchise, it's going to make a sequel. The studio, like, the first one I think made $30 million last weekend, opening weekend. Yeah, make a sequel. Let's see. What do I have here? Oh yeah, Interstellar, the new Christopher Nolan flick. There's a couple things about this movie. One, everyone that is a comic book and Marvel fan, prepare to come in your pants. Supposedly, the first trailer will be released of Avengers Age of Ultron with Interstellar. It will play in front of it. I'll guarantee it will play in front of Big Hero 6 as well. I'm looking forward to it even more now. Like, holy shit. I'm super pumped for it. That's the first thing with Interstellar. Second is that it's 169 minutes. Do your math correctly, that's 11 minutes shy of 3 hours. Now, The Dark Knight Rises was 165, so this movie is 4 minutes longer. It's not surprising. I mean, Christopher Nolan makes long movies. That's just the way it works, and I'm okay with it. Hell, I'll watch 24 hours of Interstellar and not leave my seat and completely just smell like shit because I didn't take a shower. Like, I will do that. So being 169 minutes doesn't bother me. However, when I see the movie and the pace is all jacked up and it's slower than that snail that's crawling on my wall right now, then I will complain about it. I will be like, listen, 169 minutes too long. You need to chop that down. But we don't know yet. As of right now, I want it to be long. I will take 169 minutes of Matthew McConaughey. Are you kidding me? In a Christopher Nolan movie? It's going to be great. It's going to be good stuff. All right, so the last piece of news is True Detective Season 2 has casted their leads. Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn. I'm okay with this. Now listen, is it going to reach the potential of the first one? I don't know. I love Season 1. I love what Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson did with their characters in that series. It was written well. It was acted well. It was just one of those shows that like I want to watch again and dissect this. So I really I don't know. Like I said, it's tough. Like I really love the show, and I trust Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn. By the way, just because Vince Vaughn has done comedies does not mean he can't pull the drama card. He can do it. I have seen multiple movies where he doesn't do comedy, where you can see that he's trying to act. Even in his comedies, when he does those small dramatic scenes, he's got chops, guys. Like Vince Vaughn is a good actor. Is he the greatest actor in the world? No. But he's good. And I think with the direction under something like True Detective, it's really going to bring it out. You know, it's kind of like with Steve Carell in Foxcatcher and Channing Tatum in Foxcatcher. Not many people have seen them in dramas. Well, Channing Tatum, but they're mostly rom-coms and BS. But, you know, they're going to bring out the good acting chops out of these people. So that's why I feel like True Detective is going to do. It's going to really bring out something that we have never seen from Vince Vaughn before. And I can't wait. I honestly am curious, and I cannot wait to see what they do with Vince Vaughn. Colin Farrell, are you kidding me? This guy's already a badass. Like, I'll watch anything with him in it. Okay, yeah. Emmeline is in the chat board right now listening to my podcast, and she's the only one. But, you know, that's okay. I kind of figured that no one will listen to this anyways. But she says that Vince Vaughn has a dramatic role kind of in the breakup. And, yeah, I agree. Like, anytime when he does, like, a rom-com or, like, any type of, like, romantic comedy, there is, like, some element of drama there. It's kind of one note, you know? It's not really, like, really in depth. Like, watch Season 1 of True Detective. Matthew McConaughey's character goes super in depth. Oh, dear Lord, he's got many layers, and that's what I really like about it. I can't wait for Season 2. And another piece of news to go with that is Rachel McAdams has talked about signing for it, the second season. So, hey, I'm just more curious than anything. And the first one was great, so I can't wait to see Season 2. So, bring it on, Vince Vaughn. I want to see it. I want to see some good stuff, so you don't prove me wrong and I look like a complete jackass. All right, guys, that will do it for the trailers and the news this week. If you have any comments about any news story or any trailer that came out, comment in the place to roll up with my voice and let me know. All right, guys, you ready for it? You ready for the meat of this? The meaty part. Okay, well, that was a little creepy, and I'd probably go to get arrested afterwards, but we're here to talk about the Boxtrolls. I literally saw this today, and I got to tell you right off the bat, I cannot recommend this high enough. This is a fantastic movie. Like, listen, every like claymation, stop motion, animation film that I have ever seen, I have never hated. Now, listen, many people may not like the stories to these films, which is understandable, but you cannot sit there and deny that the production design, the art direction, the cinematography, the lighting, the costume design in these films are immaculate. Like, they are just astounding to watch, like, on screen. Because every scene that happens in these films, you can pick apart. You can look over there and be like, wow, look at that little chair, or look at that little table, look at that costume on that character. Like, everything is in such minute detail. It blows your mind that these people don't get enough credit. Like, they deserve more credit, for sure. These guys work their asses off at these movies. And the Boxtrolls is no different. It's beautiful to look at. The costumes, the way it's lit in every single scene, like the production design, it's all amazing. And I really like the story to Boxtrolls. Is it the greatest story ever? No. I mean, it's basically about a bunch of Boxtrolls that live under the city, and they take a human boy, like a human baby, and they raise him, basically. And so it's the typical story of, like, you know, like humans being raised by something, or something's being raised by the humans, and, like, people think that, like, the trolls are the monsters, but in reality, the humans are the monsters. You know, it's typical stories like that. But what was fresh about this was the Boxtrolls, and the way the film looked, and the way the colors popped. There was something fresh about this story that I really, really liked. And so I gotta tell you, like, okay, I'll do my normal movie review style. So here we go. Directing. This film looks amazing. The direction in every single scene is beautiful to look at. I love the little costumes on the characters. I love the production design. I love the way it's lit. Like, the direction of this movie is spot on. And I really like the story. Not the greatest story in the world, like I said, but very entertaining. It's got a lot of humor in it. A lot of humor for the kids and adults. Like, there was a lot of stuff we were laughing at that made a reference to hookers. I was like, oh, that was nice. So, yeah, they had a lot of adult humor, a lot of kiddie humor. It was written really well. Like I said, it was really funny. So the direction of this movie is amazing. The acting, I really like the voice acting. Elle Fanning plays a character. I mean, she's okay. Ben Kingsley plays one of the characters. He's good. Jared Harris plays a voice. I can always recognize his voice from anything. Richard Ayoade. I don't know how to say his last name, but he plays one of the goons. Nick Frost voices one of the goons, and Simon Pegg does also a voice towards the tail end. But everyone brings their A game. They add such life to these characters that are made out of clay. Like, it's amazing how much life you can breathe into a character just from your voice. And so I thought the acting was pretty good for the most part. Cinematography, like I said, it's so good to look at. Like, every shot, like, it's set in, like, a cobblestone street, 1800s looking town, and it's just the way it's lit at night. It's just beautiful to look at, and it's framed up well. Like, the cinematography is gorgeous. It's just, I love these movies. These movies need to get a lot more love than they deserve. Editing, the movie is I forgot, it was either 87 or 97 minutes, but I think it's 97. So it's almost 100 minutes, hour 40 minutes. It flies by because I was entertained. I thought the pacing was perfect. I thought everything was developed nicely. Like I said, when you watch those movies, you're more intrigued on what's going on in, well, the little cups on the table. Like, someone made that, or like a door on one of the buildings. Like, someone made that. The doorknob. Like, it's just incredible to look at. So overall, I think this is a great looking movie. I think the cinematography is gorgeous. I think the production design, art direction, what have you, is excellent. I think the voice acting is good overall. The pace is nice. The story is average. It's not something new, but it is entertaining. The humor is good. A lot of adult humor. I'm going to do this one pretty high. I'm going to do 9 out of 10. I think it's a great claymation movie. If you love this type of filmmaking, please go see the Boxtrolls. It's from the same company that made Coraline, which is also awesome, and Paranorman, which was also really good. Me and my roommates were debating on this because we saw it, and I asked them. I said, "What do you like better? Do you like this or Coraline?" Because Paranorman was good, but like Coraline was better, at least in my opinion. And so Boxtrolls, it's tough. Like, it's like neck and neck with Coraline. That's how good it is. And so, yeah, it's really hard, but like, for grade wise, I'm doing 9 out of 10. Like, all those points that I listed was great. Like I said, the only downside that I might think people might have with this movie, it might seem a little long to people. And then I guess the story's not really, extravagant or anything. Like, those are only the negatives I can think that people would come up with. Like, I don't have any negatives. I enjoyed this thing overall. It was a nice little movie. And I love this type of filmmaking because these filmmakers work their asses off at doing these scenes. Like, you guys don't know like how it's done. Like, it's frame by frame. There's 24 frames in a second for film. So when you see like a live action movie, 24 frames make a second. So a second of film is 24 individual frames. It's the same way with claymation. What they have to do is like say you had a scene with two people and you had a backdrop and they're just kind of talking. So you have those two people stand in front of the camera and the backdrop. You position them how you want to position them for your first frame. Take a shot. The next frame, if they like move their finger like by the tiniest millimeter, or like move their eye or their mouth when they are speaking, like you have to move that manually, and then when you move it to where you want to go, then you take another shot. Like I realize that I'm saying take another shot. It makes it seem like all the filmmakers get drunk on set. No. Like the camera. And so they will take each shot with the camera by frame, because that's how you do it with this type of filmmaking. So it's so much work, guys. Like, I give these guys a lot of respect. And so the Boxtrolls is no different. I absolutely loved it. So 9 out of 10. If you guys have seen Boxtrolls or have you even heard about it, comment that place where I'll blow my voice and let me know. I'd like to know you guys' thoughts on the Boxtrolls. So my favorite claymation movies growing up and stuff, I have a list right here, and there's a lot, but I got to tell you, like, the oldest one and the first one I ever remember is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and also Frosty the Snowman. Do you remember the ones from, like, they play around Christmas time all the time, I think on the Hallmark channel or whatever, and those are claymation. And those came out in the 60s. So I can't even imagine, like, the technology they didn't have to where, like, they literally had to do everything by hand. Now, listen, Boxtrolls, Paranormal, and Coraline, they do have a little computer-generated effects in there, but for the most part, it is moving it hand by hand. So back in the day, they had to do that, like all that. So that was the first one I ever remember. I thought that was it's a nice little Christmas special every year. Another one is you guys remember Chicken Run? Chicken Run. That was a really good one. I remember seeing that in theaters with my grandma. I was like, man, this is a really good like movie. And so back in the day, like, you know, when I was a kid and I didn't really know anything or how to move or talk or anything, I was just a lazy blob. I was just like, this is a really good form of animation. I didn't really understand, like, you know, the claymation type stuff, and so I looked more into it, and I was like, man, that's just impressive. So Chicken Run, the Pirates Band of Misfits, the one that came out a couple years ago, I actually really enjoyed that one. Anything from Aardman. Aardman is basically the guys that made Wallace and Gromit, Chicken Run. They made Flushed Away. You guys remember the mouse one where they go in the sewers and they have sex? Actually, I just made that up, and I'm pretty sure they did not have sex in the sewer because that would be highly disturbing. So no mouse sex in Flushed Away, but there was mouses in sewers. So those are those are the ones on that list. But if you were a kid born in the 90s, I think you know what I'm about to say. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Who didn't see this in the 90s? If you didn't see this in the 90s, what? This movie came out when I was like 5 or 6. I remember watching it for the first time, and just for all you people out there, Tim Burton did not direct this one. He produced it, as in like he put everything together and oversaw the project. But the guy that directed it was Henry Selick, and he directed Coraline. So Henry Selick directed this one, and he directed Coraline. He's a great director at this genre of filmmaking, basically. And Tim Burton, you know, he did Corpse Bride and stuff, so he knows how to do it too. But Tim Burton did not direct Nightmare Before Christmas. Sorry for all you Nightmare Before Christmas enthusiasts out there. Sorry I bursted your bubble and now you hate me. But that was the top one. The top one as a kid. Because I remember when it came out, it was creepy as hell. I had nightmares. Like, I was like, what? I was like, what the? Like, this skeleton is just walking around with no eyes. And, you know, as a kid, you're watching this going, oh, you know, that's nice. Wait, what? Like, literally, it will change your mood within seconds because it's just that creepy. But that is like the first one I ever remember as a kid. Nightmare Before Christmas, fantastic movie. If you love claymation, Chicken Run, I highly suggest that one. And Coraline, those are my like top 3. And then Boxtrolls is creeping up there. Like it was. I had so much fun, guys. I can't recommend it highly. If you love claymation, go see it. So those are some of my favorite claymation movies. If you have a different one or whatever you remember as a kid, comment that place just right below my voice and let me know. All right, guys, let's get to the box office results for the weekend. Let's break this mother down. All right, number 5 with 4.8 million is Dolphin Tale 2. Let's see what it's rocking right now. Its production budget is 36, and worldwide it's got 36. You guys know the rules. You got to double it, so it's tanking right now. I guess no one really cares for dolphins with no tails. Number 4 with 7 million is This Is Where I Leave You. It right now, my computer is being awesome.
Important security message.
What?
Please call.
Okay, guys, I think I have a virus in my computer. What you just heard is exactly what I've been hearing for like the past 5 weeks. Some ad will pop up and this random lady will be like, "Hello, would you like to buy a condom now or later?" It's like, whoa, I didn't ask for this. Go away. So This Is Where I Leave You. Made 7 million this weekend. Its budget's 19.8, so basically 20. Domestic, it's got 22 so far, so it's got a little ways to go. Number 3, the Boxtrolls with 17.2 million. There is no production budget listed, but right now worldwide it's got 34. These movies cost a lot more, folks. Let me just do a quick search. Probably should have done my research, but I'm lazy. You guys know that. So the production budget for Coraline was 60. It made 124 worldwide, so it made a little profit. And the Paranormal, I know, it didn't do super well. So it sucks that these movies don't get a lot of love, but I guess people are just getting tired of them. I don't know. Back in 2012, Frankenweenie also came out. Frankenweenie's awesome, and that's done by Tim Burton, and that's claymation. So, yeah, 17.2 million. It's not really good, to be honest with you, but hopefully word of mouth will get more families to go see it, more film enthusiasts, etc. Number 2 is The Maze Runner with 17.5 million, so it actually outbeat the Boxtrolls by $250,000. But here's the deal. These are just projections, so tomorrow it could all change. Boxtrolls could actually be higher than The Maze Runner. We don't know. These are just projections. So Boxtrolls could actually be number 2. Don't know. But The Maze Runner made 17 more million. Its production budget is 34. It's made 148 worldwide. Holy shit. No wonder they're going to make a sequel. It's already made its money back plus a crap ton of profit. So the number 1, no one can doubt Denzel Washington, The Equalizer. It made $35 million this weekend on a budget of 55. Worldwide, on its first weekend, made 52. So double 55, you're looking at 110 to break even. It's got a little ways to go. But hey, $35 million for your opening weekend? Guys, listen. As long as I can remember watching Denzel movies, even if the movie's terrible or just okay, Denzel always brings his A game. He's one of the only actors in Hollywood right now that could sell a movie based on him being in it. I'm not even joking. He has that star presence, kind of like what Tom Cruise did back in the day. Like, Tom Cruise still has that star power, but not as much. It's starting to dwindle. Same with Brad Pitt. But Denzel Washington, his A game is all throughout every single movie. Seriously, a movie could be announced next week that Denzel Washington is stuck in a porta potty and you have a 2-hour journey through this character's mind while there's an alien invasion going on outside, and his name is Carl. Carl, the man stuck in a porta potty while an alien invasion going on. Denzel Washington plays the main character. You're getting 30 million opening weekend. I don't care what your reviews say. He just draws that type of crowd. He's just that good, and I agree. Like I said, he's great in everything, regardless if it's average or not. That's Denzel Washington, folks. Denzel fucking Washington. So that is it, guys, for the box office results for the weekend. I'm a little surprised Boxtrolls didn't make it as much, but not really because Paranorman didn't do as well 2 years ago, so kind of sucks. But that will do it for this weekend, guys. If you would like to follow me on Spreaker here, you can do just that. Click that follow button and you can be up to date on live shows on when I do these bad boys on Sundays, because I record every single Sunday for you guys. I just lost my train of thought. I usually do that sometimes. I space out. If you'd like to follow me on iHeartRadio, I'm also on there too. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter to get up-to-dates on live shows and follow my ridiculous life, it is at Real Chase Lee, REEL Chase Lee, all one word. If you guys want to subscribe to my YouTube page, I put all my movie reviews on there, all the podcasts. I do web series, short films, trailer dubs. There's a whole bunch of crap on there that can basically make you procrastinate for at least 20 minutes longer. So that is youtube.com/Shabutnik75, capital S, lowercase HABOOTNIK 75. And I think that's it. I mean, my Facebook page for the reviews, where you can get up-to-dates on when I post the podcast, my movie reviews, interviews with celebrities and directors and what have you. It's facebook.com/Real Reviews with Chase Lee. All one word, Real Reviews with Chase Lee. That will do it for this week's episode, guys. I want you to have a good night, good day, whenever you're listening to this. If you're listen, guys, it's okay. If you're taking a dump while listening to this, I respect you more. It's okay. So, if you're listening to me on the way to work, have a safe drive. I love all you guys. You guys keep me going on this craptastic podcast. I can't even speak properly. But for next week, guys, it is Gone Girl comes out. So I will definitely have a review of Gone Girl and my favorite David Fincher movies. And yeah, I might have some other stuff. But overall, that will be the basis for next week's show. So that will do it, guys, on this episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast. I'm Chase Lee. You guys are awesome. I love you guys to death. Keep being awesome. Spread this podcast around, guys. Let's help spread this all over the internet. Like some type of weird virus that no one can ever figure out how to get rid of. I'm being serious. We need to spread this like a virus. We can do it. I believe in you. Can you guys do that? Okay. Hold on. See, this is what happens when you do the show live, folks. Sometimes your music messes up. Okay, I got it all set now. All right, I'm going to play my outro music. Goodbye, everyone.